Hi, welcome to the
Okay.
Smarter Cloud Talk podcast. My name is Madison. I'm the marketing coordinator here at the Business Software Center. And in today's session, we are going to review women in tech. And I have a special guest today. Her name's Jyoti. Jyoti, go ahead and introduce yourself and let me know your role at the Business Software Center.
All right. Thank you, Madison. It's a great opportunity that we are talking here with you. So I'm working with the TBSC as an a senior project manager. So it's been around 7 years now. I'm with the TBSC, and I joined as a senior software developer, where I used to do day-to-day .NET coding and stuff. They eventually the grow happens like the product we develop, and it's now mature product. And yeah, from senior developer to senior project manager.
I think it's great that you've been with the company for so long, and I really like how you've been able to grow with the job. So you've been able to
Yeah,
get promotions and develop your own products. But I have a
yeah.
question for you. Before TBSC or even, when you were a kid, what did you want to do when you were younger? Was a career in tech always something you were drawn to or wanted to do?
To be honest, no. I as a kid, I was like, always wanted to do something with the farming or with the botanical plants or something like. I always connected with the flowers and gardening stuff. So I always wanted to do something like that. But when I grow, it's like, market is booming. Everybody's talking about do the computer engineering or do the masters or do the MBA. So I did my master's in computer management, and it's back in 2008 I pass out. And then at the same time it was recession in a market, so we didn't had any job or anything, so we just had to started working as a freelancer or just to do free job for a company. And then eventually when I get a experience on it, and then I started the first job with the Merck's line, that is the Merck's company. And then that's how it started actually. To be working as a technical, it wasn't a dream, but when I started working with this, I started enjoying it, and definitely it gives a good amount of financial growth, and I grow as a person because you work with big teams and big brands where you talk with people globally, or you may have a clients from Australia or from US or from UK. So you talk with the different people. I think that's a good opportunity. I got it.
I see it. I understand that. It's kind of interesting how you went from the shift of wanting to maybe work on the farm or be a gardener and then do something so technical.
Right.
But I would hope that with the current career that you're in, it gives you enough time to maybe enjoy gardening on the side.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. I have small gardens, so I'll make sure that I'll have some flowers around, or some plants or apple tree maybe here in UK. So yeah.
Now, whenever you were pursuing your career in tech, did you
Mm-hmm.
ever find it difficult? Tell me about some of the difficulties you might have experienced when you were getting your degree or maybe early on in your career. Did you notice maybe because you're a woman, it might be a little bit harder to get into the industry?
I think it's really what you can say, a difficult point or a difficult situation where you wanted to tell everything to world, but you can't share everything. It's the point, isn't it? But I think it's a good question which you ask. When I started on masters, it's always like you will not get the project or your project score as equal as what other boys is getting, even if they are dumb, they are not as brilliant as you, but they are just boys, so they get some good score on project where they can get good skill. So I don't understand why that happened with me. I always regret, to going that college and why it happened with me. And then later, when eventually we started working on it, it's always your pay scale is not as equal as what your male friend is. I don't know why that is there. I think it's everywhere in every country, I believe. But where I grown up or where I started my technical job or as an software developer job, where my male friend is getting the good salary, where I'm always like, less on it. And then when we started, it's always for a promotion. It's always a struggle that, you have to prove yourself. Being a girl, you have to be, say that, okay, if you are leaving on time to office, then people will be judgmental about you that, you're going home or you need to cook food, so you can't give your 100% in your technical job. But it's not like that. If I'm in 9 to 5 in office, that I'm doing my job. I'm delivering whatever task in my list. So how come I am not that? How come I am not the person who is delivering on time, or and how come the male colleague will be always have that liberty to get the promotion or maybe good percent of hike? So it was always there, Madison. But I believe, like, where we are working with TBSC now, we as like we are more percentage of girls than like women than men. So where I feel like it's quite a good. It's little bit changed now. Yeah, but being working in the industry for last 14 years, I have gone through some situations where you regret, or where you are so much angry about it, why this has happened, why it's just with me. But then eventually, where you are on, and at one point where you know that this is, I know what I am doing, I know what I deliver, or I know my capabilities. So it doesn't matter what the other people getting opportunity and not me.
That sounds like a lot of pressure early on in your career, especially getting your
Yeah,
degree in early on, feeling that
yeah,
constant judgment or needing to constantly overachieve just to be, part of the boys club. And I think it's so
yeah,
important that you share this story because we learn and we grow from these experiences. And I think the
yes,
best foot forward is, educating people and saying, this is real, this is what's happening. And I like what you said, that you have noticed a change within the past 14 years, but the change is
yeah.
slow. The change
Change
is
is
definitely
slow.
slow.
Yeah, and there are some incident in your life where, you will never ever forget that,
Yeah.
There is one of my experience with the one company where I worked them for not more than eight months, and the manager asked me to come over the work on weekends in office, and nobody else was in the office in the whole floor, and he just wanted me to come on the weekends and work. So I was like, why? Then I fight with the HR, Human Resource Department. I told them the story why he did that, and to be honest, they fired me instead of taking action on that particular person. That's the situation where, like, I was just in a technical industry for just 3 years or something.
Mhm.
So I thought it's okay to say it's not fair, but then other people, it's easy for them to take action on me and not the person who is harassing me.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
I think what's another thing about this is you tried standing up for yourself and you knew your self-worth, but when they fired
yeah,
you, it's like they took your confidence completely away from you.
yes, yes,
I would
it
imagine that if that would have happened to me, I would have been really upset and not wanted to continue on with the tech industry. So my next
yeah.
question for you is, what motivates you to stay committed to this industry?
To be honest, I'm enjoying my job. I
Mm.
I I love my work. I love the technical work which I used to do earlier, like, write down the code and see that, product is getting developed or it is helping other industries. And now it's more likely my family, which, because of them, I was like, okay, it's a day-to-day job where I'm enjoying it. I can't complain about it. So I love to be, when we have a meetings, we talk with the different people, like, you don't know them or anything, but we just go on a video call and we talk with them, or they share their weekends plans. So something which is exciting me. So yeah, that's the reason I think I'm enjoying this job.
Yeah, and I would say that maybe having an environment where you work at now is a lot healthier than your previous
Yes,
employers.
I agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
So it
So
gives you an opportunity to kind of be
yeah,
yourself and experiment a little bit and try new things, but then also get to know different people and your confidence
yeah,
really grows in that way as well when you're able to
yes.
kind of experiment and do your own thing.
Yeah, it's always depends on, how your day-to-day work has, or how your colleagues behave with you, or how they approach, or how they talk with you. It's always matter. And with the current organization, it's like, we all behave like we are friends, or I never thought of anything to hide from anybody. It's like I have the confidence with you all to share everything. So I think that's where it matters, isn't it?
I agree. I've definitely worked in jobs before where I felt like I couldn't communicate effectively about how I
Yeah.
felt, like if I was having a good day or a bad day. And I think working with a small company first is nice because you get to
Mm-hmm.
know your coworkers, but working for a company that's really inclusive, like TBSC, I can talk about, mental health stuff as well, and it's taken
Yeah.
seriously. So
Yeah.
I have another question for you. Based
Mm-hmm.
off of your past 14 years of being in the industry and being a woman in tech, do you have any advice for women who might be interested in pursuing this career?
Oh, definitely I have the advice is
Hmm.
that it's no matter, like, don't just go behind the brands that you want to work with, a Google or Microsoft, or, any other brands. Always, if you want to learn more things, go and join with a small company or small brand where, how you will be involved in a more process than just in a documented process. And yes, talk for yourself. Unless you don't talk, nobody will gonna understand, or nobody's gonna listen. Unless you say it, what you feel it, you have to say it to your colleague or your manager, whomsoever you feel comfortable. Talk with them, and every day is definitely a learning day. So learn new things. Might be keep updated always with technology which is going around in the market.
Excellent. I think those are all pretty good points. I especially like the idea of, keeping up with the times because I feel like
Yeah.
some people who get in their jobs, they start doing the same thing over and over and they kind of forget that there's so much going
Yeah.
on around them and all the changes are happening.
Yes, just don't stay with the comfort zone.
Hmm. Yes.
If you are a developer, then try something on a management side, or like go for a lead role or something like that, or just learn something new which can add up in your career growth. So I think that's what you should keep adding, like a new certifications or new course, anything. Or it's not related, it's always not related with the technology. You can go with any other course which is, just go for it. Like, it's not necessary need to be a technical course.
Yeah, I think cultivating your skills in any area of your life will be beneficial in the long run, especially
Yeah.
developing hobbies, because when you develop hobbies, it gives you a different sense of who you are and it develops your identity. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe if somebody's working too much doing something outside of the job, like, the pottery class or painting class or something will
Yeah.
definitely help them. Well, it was
Yes,
so great
definitely.
having you join us on the podcast today. I want to thank you again for joining us. And for those listening, please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube to receive regular updates. Jyoti, do you have any final words?
Actually, thanks, Madison, for this opportunity. And yeah, nice to talk with you.
No worries.